Okay. Lord, whose loving endless service for the great of human need, who upon the cross forsaken, earth of mercy's perfect deed, we your servants bring the worship, not a voice alone but God, consecrating to your purpose every gift which you impart. Still your children wander homeless, still the hungry cry for bread, still the captives long for freedom, still in grief we mourn our dead. As you, Lord, in deep compassion, heal the sick and free the soul. By your Spirit, send your power to our world to make it whole. As we worship, grant us vision, till your love's revealing light. In its height and depth and greatness, dawns upon our quickened sight, making known the needs and burdens your compassion bids us bear, stirring us to ardent service, your abundant life to share. Call my worship to your service, forth in your dear name we go. To the child of you created, loving, living deeds to show. Hope and health, goodwill and comfort, consolate and peace we give. Let your servants more in freedom, may your mercy know and live. As Pastor Mark mentioned, I'm going to share a set of songs and poems that I hope convey to you something about the heart of God and the life of Jesus, who lives and reigns in us and in our world. Sometimes it's kind of quietly, sometimes a little hidden, and I like to try to bring that out to a more full expression in myself, and I always hope that for others. That's really what we call faith, is having Christ live in and through us. And I always hope that the songs and the poems that I feel like I've been given them, that when I give them to you, that they feed you in a kind of way that encourages and strengthens your faith. So the first song that I'm going to do is kind of reflections upon the Sermon on the Mount, particularly the Beatitudes. And as you know, the Sermon on the Mount is to some extent a kind of coming out thing for Jesus. You know, when he started his ministry, his first sermon, if you would, was in the synagogue in Nazareth when he was reading from Isaiah, and the people basically threw him out of town. So anyway, so he's on this mountain, and all the people gathering around. They're all, can you imagine? It's not like if it happened today, because people are hungry for something, right? So this is a little poem. For more than millennia, the world has been searching, watching, waiting, hoping and praying for something or someone give light to the darkness, warmth to the cold, safety to danger, youth to the old, strength to the weak, rest to the worn, love to the lonely, the hurt, the forlorn, health to the sick, wealth to the poor, food to the hungry, peace to war, freedom to slaves and all the oppressed, justice to wrong, life to death. Fire, warriors, doctors, lawyers. There's always a fix, an answer, relief, someone to rescue, to save, to redeem, a remedy, an antidote, or even a cure, a treatment, a major or minor procedure. And some of them work. They actually do, at least to a point, but you're still left with you. I believe there's a word to silence this quest, a word from on high, from a heavenly guest, not some kind of charm or cheap incantation, but a word enfleshed, true incarnation, a word, the word, from the dawn of time, stamped on our hearts, seared in our minds, a brand on our bodies that says, you are mine. Messiah. Messiah. Messiah.
He said, blessed are you, you who are poor. Blessed are you whenever you are born. Yes, and blessed are you, you who are meek. Blessed are you when you walk in the way of peace. You are the light of the world. If you haven't heard, in the kingdom of God, the tables are turned. Yes, in the kingdom of God, the tables are turned. I know that you've heard it said, you got to live by the rules. But I'm telling you now, you got to live in the truth. 'Cause every rule is a reason for some to decide between the good and the bad, never looking inside. But to your Father in heaven, who's no one who's better or worse. In the kingdom of God, the last shall be first. Yes, in the kingdom of God, the last shall be first. So have you heard the news? It's been going down, yeah. Have you heard the news? There's a new kid in town. Have you heard the news? Everybody here. The kingdom of God is drawing near. Yes, the kingdom of God is drawing near. Have you heard the news?
Thanks. In the story, this is not an admonition or a scolding or anything, but if you've never had the chance to just actually read one of the Gospels, just start to finish. So, you know what? They shouldn't have put the Bible in 2 columns, because everyone looks at it and goes, what's this? Right? If it were just a book, you could just read it. Anyway, give it a try. If you just read one of the Gospels, it's really kind of fun to see the whole story from beginning to end. So like Mark said, I'm kind of trying to tell you the story of Jesus' life, but obviously I only have so much time and whatnot. In the story, Jesus does all this stuff, crazy things, healing people who've been really sick, feeding crowds miraculously, and crazy stuff. You can imagine the people kind of going, what? What's going on here? You might even be able to imagine Jesus saying, what? What's going on here? Okay? So at some point in the story, Jesus kind of stops. He goes off to a lonely place, it says, and he's praying. Doesn't say what he says or how he's doing that. But he comes back to his disciples and he says, so who do people say that I am? All right? So lots of times I think we read that as if it's like a test, to the disciples, like, let's see if they can get this right. Who do people say that I am? And they say, well, some say you're Elijah or John the Baptist. Then he says, what about you? What do you say, right? I kind of tend to think that Jesus, as just a human being, like you and me, which he was literally saying, who the heck am I? Who do you think I am, right? And so all this stuff that's been going on, and Peter says, you are the Messiah. And, it turns out that's right. And Jesus says, well, yeah, okay. So then he tells them, what does that mean? Well, what it means is that he's going to go to Jerusalem and he's going to be crucified, killed, publicly executed as a criminal. And it's like, wow, that doesn't jive with the rest of the story that we've had. How does that fit here? So you can imagine they were a little perplexed. Anyway, that's where the story kind of turns, where Jesus heads off to Jerusalem to meet his end, if you will. So I'm going to do a song for you that's kind of getting at the question that Jesus was asking, who am I? And how, even heroes, Jesus is probably my biggest hero. I have other heroes. Who were we talking about last night that I said was a hero? I'm trying to remember. Certainly like people like Bob Dylan and Paul Simon are heroes of mine. But there was some other guy. Who was it? Whatever. So, but I just really have always resonated with Jesus as a human being. So, anyway, the word Messiah means the Anointed One. Okay? So this is a little poem. people just seem to have it all together. They know what they want, they know what to do. Their lives seem so easy. Does that sound like you? Well, it really makes me wonder. Who am I? Why am I here? Those questions have nagged at me year after year. Sometimes I feel like I've figured it out. And I say to myself, that's what it's about. But then I get tripped by the daily grind and it feels like I'm throwing my pearls before swine. Or worse, like the best that I've got is left on the vine while something inside of it just withers and dies. That really makes me think. You know, it's easy to falter, wrapped up in myself, to give up on God and put my life on the shelf. Lord knows I've been there. But what doesn't let go is that holy conviction deep in my soul that the world wasn't made to stoop to my wants. No, the truth is that we're here to be instruments. Instruments of God in God's own way. That's the thing for which I pray. And yes, I still wonder, but not all alone. Anointed by God, who made us his own.
In a lonely place, I was face to face with God. I could hear my breath, feel the holiness of my heart. And I asked myself, is there no one else who can tell me who I am? Help me, Lord, to understand. In this crazy world, I've been wrapped and curled up in bows. Like a beauty queen in a magazine no one knows. And I'd give my final dollar for a chance to just be real, to come out of hiding and heal. 'Cause even the heroes wanna know who they are and where to go. Even heroes wonder why, what it means to live and die. We're all walking flesh and bones, even the heroes. In a lonely place, when you're face to face with God, you can hear your breath, feel the holiness of your heart. When you ask yourself, is there no one else who can tell me who I am? Come to me and take my hand. 'Cause even the heroes want to know who they are and where to go. Even heroes wonder why, what it means to live and die. We're all walking flesh and bones, even the heroes. So if you're wondering why I ask, or probably you behind your mask, I just want you to be free, to live the life you see in me. There's no place you can go where I haven't gone before. We're all walking flesh and bones, even the heroes. The even heroes need a friend, one to stay through the end then. Even heroes need to belong to one who loves them right and wrong. Even heroes want to know who they are and where to go. We're all walking flesh and bones, even the heroes. Even the heroes. We're all walking flesh and bones, even the heroes.
I love how in Hebrews, the writer of Hebrews talks about how Jesus is the pioneer and perfecter of our faith. He's gone before us, he's out there in front of us. And it's just true, there's no place that you can go. Which is kind of a good thought. Jesus taught people a lot. I love the sort of like the wisdom literature in the Bible, which there is quite a bit. Have you ever read Ecclesiastes? That's really cool. That's a really cool book. Anyway, Jesus had wisdom beyond, and it came out a lot in his parables. He had these little stories that he would tell people, and so many gems are dear to our tradition in our hearts. I'm going to do a song that's about one of his parables about the weeds and the wheat, where in the parable, the master sends out his servants to check out the field, and they come back and they're all upset and in a quandary because some enemy has gone into the field and sowed weeds right amidst the wheat, and it's like ruining. How many of you are farmers? Anybody here grow stuff? So it's like, right, I grew up in Southern California, but I harvested peas, I baled hay, I detasseled corn, I pulled what do they call those? There's probably a naughty name for those things. The corn that grows up in the soybean fields after, anyway, so I know something about weeds and wheat. It's a weed, see, it's a weed. Right? And so we all know about weeds. But, so in the story, Jesus, they were saying, well, we should really burn it or burn it all up. And Jesus said, no, just let it grow, and we'll take care of things at the end, okay? So this is a song that's kind of from that parable. If you need something to ponder, Cara has, does anyone else have, do people have those? Okay, so they've seen it, right? Yeah, so Cara, you can be my show and tell. So she's got that little tattoo that says, who comes up with this? It's so cool. It says saint if you read it one way and sinner if you read it the other. So it's weeds and wheat, okay? That's the thing. Anyway, so here's a little poem about how fragile we are. We're way more fragile than we like to believe. Strong and beautiful like a porcelain vase, yet with one wrong move, we fall and we break. Still, it's the cracks in our lives, our hearts and our bones, that let in the light from our heavenly home. So it's there in our weakness that we find we are strong, with strength from the one to whom we belong. Not just for others, not just ourselves that we discover new life, but for all of the folk in the midst of their strife. So no more to criticize or condemn, but join hands and say a prayer for them, both the weeds and the weeds. My grandpa gave me my very first job. It wasn't much, but I tried real hard. Not for the money, though that didn't hurt. No, I had a reason to get my hands in the dirt. At Grandpa's place he had a beautiful yard, picture perfect like a Christmas card. He preached with conviction, his motto, his creed: if you want the wheat, stay ahead of the weeds. I pull them and pluck them and throw